Welcome to the Master Passive Income Podcast, where we talk about investing in real estate rental properties with a special focus on making enough money so you can quit your job and live the dream life. And now, here is your host, Dustin Heiner.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Master Passive Income Show. My name is Dustin Heiner, and I'm here to help you learn how to quit your job by investing in real estate rental properties so you never, ever have to work a job again. Now, I was thinking today about when I went to college, it was much, much cheaper than when it actually is now. I mean, just imagine how much debt you can get into. And I've also told you before how I was going to blow up my college degree, and I actually did that. So if you want to see me actually blow up my college degree, check out the description for that video where I actually took my kids, we shot it with a bunch of guns, and then we blew it up with 16 pounds of tannerite and a gallon of gasoline. So it was super awesome. So check out that video. And here's some interesting things about college. Since 1978, the cost of college has risen over 1,000%. Also, college tuition has increased twice as fast as medical care costs. Can you believe? No, I can't believe it. How crazy ridiculous it is that in order to go to college, you're going to be spending so much money. And the average student in 2015 graduated with $35,000 in debt. Can you absolutely believe that? On top of that, student loans often take 10 or 20 or more years to actually pay off. I mean, is that really worth it? Now, in my opinion, let's say you're going to get $35,000 in college debt. You're going to go $35,000 into debt. My personal opinion is, why not take that money and buy a rental property with it? And that rental property is going to be making you money. Now, today's show, I'm going to be actually interviewing one of my students. Her name is Katrina. She is a fantastic quick learner, and she jumped on one property and then the next property. So within 4 months of working with me, she already bought one property, then bought on the second property. And so I'm bringing her on so that you can hear a success story, because most of the time you just listen to me talk about my successes, and I talk a little bit about what my students are doing, but I really wanted her to come on to share with you what she has done in such a little time. Now, if you're thinking about $35,000 in debt, you're going to hear Katrina say she bought one property for $16,000 down payment, and that's making her like $350, maybe $400 a month. Can you believe that? $16,000 down payment. Now, not everybody has $16,000 to buy a property. I completely understand that, but we can work hard and save that money. We get $16,000 car loans. Now, why don't we put that money towards a property that makes us $350 or more every single month? And with my children, I'm literally teaching them how to not go to college and make money in every different way. Instead of having earned income where you work one time, get paid one time, and then you have to go to your boss, hey boss, can I take 2 days off of work because I'm sick or whatever it might be? Instead of doing that, why not be your own boss? Why not work one time and get paid over and over again? And that's what real estate rental properties is for. And so I want to get you started investing in real estate rental properties. Literally, don't go to college or don't have your kids go to college. I want you to learn that if you buy one rental property that's making you $300 a month, then you have $300, $3,600 extra in income a year. But if you had 10 properties, that is $3,000 a month, and that's $3,600 a year extra in income. Man, it blows me away how awesome this business is, but we're so blessed to do it. And I absolutely want to get you started investing in real estate. I will get you my real estate investing course absolutely for free. Go in the description, masterpassiveincome.com/free course. I will literally send you my free course showing you how to find properties, how to find a whole area of the country to invest outside of your own state, how to make sure you run the numbers right, how to build the business first. Go to masterpassiveincome.com/free course. Now, let's talk with Katrina. She is going to show how a normal, everyday person can buy out of state and do it well and make money every single month. And in 4 months, she has now 2 properties that are making her at least $300 a month. Imagine if you had 2 properties making at least $300. I think they're probably making her $350, maybe $400 a month. Imagine, let's just go at the bare minimum, making $300 a month times 2, that's $600 a month. Now, over the entire year, if you have that place rented, that is $7,200 extra in your pocket in profit because our tenants are paying all of our expenses. So let's get into today's show where we're going to be interviewing Katrina, one of my students for the Ultimate Real Estate Investing System and my coaching program, because I want you to see normal, everyday people can do this too. And if you go to the YouTube channel, if you go to masterpassiveincome.com/YouTube, you can see I'm literally interviewing Katrina, and you can see that we're just normal people, and normal people can do this. All right, guys, let's get into the show where we talk to Katrina, and she shows us how she bought 2 properties that make her at least $600 a month total in just 4 months. All right, everybody, welcome to the Master Passive Income Show. I am super excited to have you guys here listening today as I bring on one of my students who has actually done this, not just once, not just twice, but she's going on to her 3rd one. And so she is doing a fantastic job building her business. I have my student Katrina on the show with me. Katrina, thank you so much for being here on the Master Passive Income Show.
Thank you for asking me to, inviting me to come.
Absolutely. Yeah. As we've been working together, finding properties and working through how to make sure we find the right properties and buy the right properties, it was just so much fun seeing you go through the entire process and also having you get the nerves to get it because it's nerve-wracking. It's scary. So tell us a little, aside from the deal, let's jump really quickly. Who are you, or where are you living, and what do you do normally, and what are your goals for real estate investing?
I live in Virginia. I work in DC for the National Park Service, and I have 25 years in there. And I just want to build this so that way I can also have extra retirement income. Hoping to do this, as much as I can in 10 years is my goal.
That's terrific. And in short order, I mean, we've only been working with each other for maybe 6 months. You already have 2 properties. And I remember you getting that first property and how nerve-wracking it was. So before we get to that deal, I want to ask you about what made you want to take the leap into investing in real estate and rental properties.
I feel like rental properties is like the best thing because you could be on vacation and still get paid. You don't have to put so much time to it. And like you said, there are like so many ways you can make money with rental properties, not just with the cash flow, but with appreciation, depreciation, all that sort of stuff, tax write-offs, everything.
Absolutely. And it's also going to work for you when you are too old to work, and then you can eventually pass it down to your kids. There's just so many fantastic things about real estate rental properties. So let's look at what were you trying to do when you found your first property, or when you started looking to invest before you found me? Did you start looking for properties on your own, or what was the process to actually get you started investing?
So I actually started investing by default. I used to own a rental house, but here in the DC area, and I acquired it through my previous marriage, but then I got divorced, so I had to rent it out. It was horrible. I lost so much money. I didn't follow the 1% rule. The DC, Maryland, Virginia area is just so expensive. So that's why I started looking at properties outside of the DC, Maryland, Virginia area.
And do you still have that property, that first property?
No. Actually, I had to go through a foreclosure, a bankruptcy. So I really started from the bottom and I'm working my way up. Yeah.
So there's definitely many wrong ways to do this business. And there's only a few right ways to do it. So now I'm really glad that you got out of that last property and you went on to, let's talk about now getting your first property. Now, there's a lot of learning involved, right? I mean, you can't just go out and buy a property and just hope that you're going to make money. Talk to us a little about the learning and the things that you needed to do in order to make sure you buy the right property and build the business first.
I was, so what I did was I looked at properties that didn't have as much fixing up to do and that already had tenants in there. And the properties that I found also had the inspection reports there already. And also I have the property managers to consult with about the status of the property.
And you already knew beforehand that you would be making money every single month because you knew your expenses, right? And you knew how much income you should be able to get from that property. Is that correct?
The best that I could, yes.
Awesome. Great. Now, you went through the Ultimate Real Estate Investing System, the course that I put together. I've literally spent hundreds of hours, and plus I'm always updating it to try to help all of my students to actually be successful. You found one way. Now, you use a company that I actually suggested. Which company was that?
Roofstock.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about your experience at Roofstock, because I the first time I found Roofstock, I said, you know what, this could be a very good opportunity for us as investors, that we have a lot of the work already done on their end. Now we have to verify, we have to do our due diligence, we have to make sure it's going to be actually, they're not lying to us. But talk to us a little bit about your experience with Roofstock.
I thought it was great because Roofstock, you can search for properties by location, by price. You can even hit the 1% button, so it follows that 1% rule. You could hit turnkey properties, and Roofstock also has the properties already inspected. So the inspection report's in there, and it tells you how much work needs to be done, like a roof or whatever.
Yeah. And I love how, as we're doing our due diligence, we have that as a basis to go off of. Now, I'm going to tell everybody, if you're going to use roofstock.com, you have to do your own inspection, or at least my opinion. Do your own inspection. Don't trust what anybody else is giving you. You want to verify all around. And so if you want to use Roofstock, go through my affiliate link. It's masterpassiveincome.com/Roofstock. It'll let you know that you're one of my students, and they are going to take care of you just like they would take care of me. I've already talked with them, worked with them. And so they are going to help you to find and buy the right properties. Now, Katrina, talk to us about finding an area of the country to invest in, because you're living in Virginia. You know, is it the DMV? Is that what it's called?
Yes, DC, Maryland, Virginia.
There you go. I actually went through there. We should have tried to connect as I was driving from Florida all the way up to New York City on my 4-week trip. Well, but that's neither here nor there. But you're living in Virginia, which is really, really expensive. Where are you investing, and what was it like finding that new area of the country to invest in?
So the first property I found was in Ohio, Akron, Ohio, and I closed in October. And then I found another one in Tennessee, and I closed in December.
You're a fast mover. So I love it. It's fantastic, because as I'm working with students, the ones that move fast, it really helps you as the student to learn faster, because the longer it takes, you kind of, a lot of my students, they say you start to forget the things that we've already talked about, and they don't implement it. And so you've already moved on to your second one really, really quickly. So when you went to Ohio, was it scary buying that first property, living in Virginia, not ever being to Ohio or Akron, not seeing the property? Was it scary to do that?
Yes, it was very scary. Actually, my first time researching for properties, I talked to wholesalers, before I even found Roofstock. I was talking to so many different people, but I ended up buying from Roofstock. But yes, it was so scary. I had to interview like different property managers, call around. Yeah, it was just a lot of work.
So in now the work aside, what about the nerves though? What about, because most people think I have to buy in my backyard where I can literally drive to it. Talk to us about the nerves of getting the ability, or getting the strength, the courage to buy a property in another state.
Yes, that was very scary. And, signing up for your coaching session and emailing you along the way helped me so much. It was very scary, but I just said, you only live once.
I completely agree with that. I specifically remember there was a time my wife and I, Pennsylvania, we were literally in Pennsylvania, and I was getting a couple emails with you, and I could tell like the nerves were, because this is the first property. And as I'm driving through my 4-week trip with the kids and the wife all through the East Coast, we were in Pennsylvania. We were literally in Amish country. We were like at an Amish little town there. And I could tell from your emails, like you're asking me questions. Well, this, and this, like, okay, we just need to have a coaching call because I need to spend time with you. And so I let the kids go run around the Amish, milking the cows and all that sort of stuff. They had a ton of fun. while I was on the phone with you, but I got to walk you through the process, say, okay, now this is the next step and this is the next step. And okay, you're worried about this, but this is, so I basically got to walk you through the process, which was a lot of fun for me.
I know.
It was great.
It's incredible how fast you respond to my emails too. I know you're busy doing a million things, and it's crazy how it feels like you're right there. So I appreciate you so much.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
It's something that if I get an email, and I'm always checking my email because I have plenty of students and I want to make sure that they're successful. So I appreciate you saying that. Now, this first property, talk to us about the step-by-step process of, okay, we already know we found it through Roofstock, which is a great company to use, but then what due diligence did you do to make sure that it's a right property that you're going to be making money and you have a property manager? Tell us about that whole process.
Well, I used the tools from your link or whatever to put in the numbers, and that way I could see how much cash flow, putting the rental income that Roofstock said and the reserve fee and the utilities, that sort of thing. And then I created my own spreadsheet because I was looking at like 10 other properties to see which one I would want. So, but it didn't take that long. I mean,
yeah, the system that I've put together myself is I was realizing I was spending a lot of time analyzing deals, and I had to create a faster and faster way. And so that's what I implemented inside the course was, hey, this is how this is how I save time. This is how I got more efficient analyzing deals. And if you do X, Y, and Z, then you do. And so that's really great. Now, you bought that property and you closed in October. Is that correct?
Yes.
So from there, you've already received some rent checks. Am I correct in saying that?
Yes. I had November and December rent.
So how does that feel, getting a check and not doing any work?
It's amazing. I even went on a cruise, and when I got back from the cruise, I had a check in my bank. So
I love it. That's fantastic. Now you're getting an idea of what I've done. I go travel the world because I don't have to do anything. So here's what was really awesome for me as a coach. I walked you through that first process, or we worked together. We got that first property. And then it was probably like a month later, I get an email from you. Hey, Dustin, I'm already buying my second property. I'm like, what? We didn't even talk about it. Let's get on a call. Let's show me the deal. Let me make sure we're doing everything right. But talk to us about that next property.
The next property went faster than the first one, because the first one, I was so nervous. Just trying to find the first one, like I said, calling real estate agents in Ohio, talking to wholesalers. It was a lot of work, going through Zillow, that sort of thing. So when I found Roofstock, it made it faster. And then finding the second property, I found it again in using Roofstock. So it went a lot faster because I already knew what was going on. And it was crazy because I used a mobile notary. I've never done that. So we just met at the Panera, and I did my closing right there at the Panera. Everything was so simple.
That is terrific. I've used a mobile notary so many times, and there are loads and loads of them. And so that's something that, it's really quick and easy. As long as you have a mortgage company that's going to be working with you, they literally say, okay, we'll send the docs to you, and you just pick a time to meet. So let's talk about the financing and getting the funding, because that's a big question for many, many people. How do I get money to buy these properties? So talk to us about that first deal. How much did you buy it for, and how much is it renting for, and how did you get the financing to do it?
So I did the bold move. I guess I might have to open some spreadsheets to remember what I did, but I did a bold move. I took money out of my TSP. Well,
and
I had
what's
to.
The TSP? Not everybody knows what a TSP is.
Thrift savings plan. It's the government retirement program that they have. And so I did a bold move and took money out of my TSP. I had to anyway, because I owed so much taxes. So I had to pay taxes. And I was thinking, let me just take out more than paying back the taxes and do this bold move and invest in property. So I took a lot out.
And that's something I talk about in my course and actually on my podcast and everywhere, is I literally cashed everything out because I make so much more money, and it's easy money through real estate.
Right. So I took a lot of money out to pay. That's why I also needed to invest in real estate, because I owed taxes, so much taxes for they they sent me an audit for 2018 and 2016. So I had to pay that back. So I was tired of having, making too much money and not having enough deductions. So that's why I also needed to do this bold move and invest in real estate. So the first property I bought in Ohio was 65,000, and I put how much did I put down? I put like 16,000 down. No. I put 19,000 down. And
you got a mortgage with it?
Yes, it rents for $860.
That sounds fantastic to me. So with this first property, how much is the mortgage payment on this property?
So principal and interest is like $250.
Oh my goodness.
I know.
That's great. And you're renting it for $850, I think you said?
$850, $860.
Oh my goodness. You're making money hand over fist. Obviously we have other fees like property manager fees and stuff like that, but I bet you're probably clearing at least $300, maybe $350 on that property.
Yes.
That's awesome.
Well,
good for you. I mean, I'm applauding you. I'm so excited for you. Now let's look at the second property. And getting that second property, I'm so glad that you said it was faster on the second one. And I completely agree that as soon as you buy that first one, the next one comes so much easier because it's just like riding a bike. Once you get it, you're like, oh man, I got it and I can do it. And you're also investing in two different states, which is interesting because most people can't even invest in one other state, so they're like, I'm Ohio and Tennessee because they're good properties. So what was the purchase price of the second property?
The second property was 54,000. I put like 16,000 down, and it rents for $750.
Oh man. And people are saying, man, how do I find properties that cheap? I'm like, there are plenty of places in the country that you can find properties that cheap. So you put 16,000 down, you said?
Yes, 16.
And the mortgage is probably what, another $200 a month?
Same thing, yeah.
Oh man! So wouldn't it be amazing? So let's say I'm just giving round numbers. You don't have to tell exactly how much you're making, but let's just round numbers. You're making $300 per property. It's two properties, $600 extra dollars in your pocket every single month. Let's imagine if you had 10 properties. So $300 times 10 properties, that's $3,000 a month. And
exactly.
I mean, isn't it just like, man, how do I get more of these?
I know. It's crazy. I love it. It's crazy. I'm ready for more. Yes. So I just followed your instructions. I followed the video to the T. When you said open that savings builder account with Citibank, I did that. And when you said this is how you open the LLC in Wyoming, I did that too. I mean, I just followed your video step by step. I did everything, I wouldn't have had the nerve to do what I did if I didn't register for your video, your coaching, that sort of thing. So I just went all in.
That's awesome. And that's how I designed the course. It's a step-by-step thing because that's really what it comes down to. It's both an art and a science, but it's more of a science. If you just do X, Y, and Z, you're going to get there. There are some things when it comes to like being an art, meaning finding the right deals, working with sellers. That's a little more of an art. But yeah, so I'm really glad that you said that. That makes me feel happy that the step-by-step process is working, and you're one of many students that have actually worked for.
Yes. Yeah.
That's awesome. Now that we already have two, my wife was like, okay, you already have 2 or 3 properties. Let's settle down. Let's wait until these kind of settle out. But when's your next purchase, or what are you looking for your next property?
So my next property, I need to come up with more of a down payment. So I'm going to wait a little bit to build that up using the profit I made from the other properties to come up with the down for that.
That's perfect. And what I would suggest is continue, and I know you're doing this, but continue, for everybody listening, I'm going to say this, continue looking for deals, because you never know when a good deal, not just Roofstock, use Zillow, use Craigslist in the areas that you already are investing, because you have a property manager, you already have the business built up, you already know about that area. So keep looking for properties, because you never know. You might find a property that you might only need to put like $5,000 down, $3,000 down. You never know what kind of deal comes up. I'll give you an example. One of my students, I'm actually going to be interviewing him in the next, hopefully relatively next few weeks. So his first property he's already bought. He's done that. He's making like $350 a month, which is fantastic. His second property, he actually found it's worth $95,000. It's an old man who's selling his parents' house. So he's like 70, but he's selling his parents' house. They're like 95. And so he's buying off of them for $50,000. He's getting a hard money loan. He is literally paying no money out of his pocket because it's a hard money loan. It's worth $95,000. He's taking out $75,000 $75,000.
Wow.
And so he's pocketing like $15,000. So do not stop looking for deals, constantly be looking for deals, because you never know what's going to come up. Not all deals are going to be the same. So you want to constantly be looking for properties. Does that make sense?
Yes, it makes sense. Actually, it also helps getting on the email list from the wholesalers because they send you deals all the time.
I love waking up in the morning, drinking my coffee, looking at deals because I didn't do any work. All the wholesalers did all the work. And that's something that a lot of people, when I show them how to find wholesalers, they're like, oh, wow, light bulb pops on. Wow, that's how you find wholesalers? Okay, let me go ahead and do that. So absolutely, I love wholesalers. I love realtors. In fact, I just love a good deal. When it is a good deal, I don't care if it's through a realtor, a wholesaler, an investor, friend, whatever. If it's a good deal, it's a good deal. So let's jump on it. Now, talk to us a little bit about the coaching process. How did that help you get to that first step and then move on to where you have the second step of getting the next property?
So I just followed your videos. And then when I was bold enough to make my move, I signed up for your coaching, which was probably to me the most helpful because it felt like you were right there through the whole thing.
Awesome.
I was emailing you so much. I mean, even just deciding on a property, I was like, yeah, it's crazy. I feel bad now for
No. Don't feel bad. In fact, what I'm thinking, okay, so you have it with just one property, that's $300 a month. I mean, in 1 year, that is, what is that? That's $3,600 in 1 year for one property. You just make so much more money. And so working with me, my goal is to, number one, save you money and make you money. And that's what we did. So, and getting those emails, that's almost like my love language. And I get an email like, oh, somebody loves me, let me reply. And that's something I have to reply. It's in me. And so I have had some coaching students say, well, how quickly are you going to be able to respond? Which is a fantastic question. I completely agree. When we're working with property managers, if they're not responding within 24 hours, you fire them right away. In fact, I'm going to get on a coaching call later today with one of my students. He's having a little bit of issues with his first property manager. And so I'm working with him to see what we need to do to move on. But long story short, the turnaround time on communication, that's something that I just pride myself on, is because everything for me, as I'm looking at you personally going through, Katrina, going through the process, I see the time frame. I see it. Some things can take longer. Some things should take longer. I don't need to respond right away, but I know by putting myself in your shoes, you're nervous. You're like, what's going on? And so I'm like, I got to get answers right away. We got to jump on a call right away. In fact, one of my students, we're literally going to get a call. I got an email from him, like 2 or 3 emails back to back, like in maybe 3 minutes. And he was like, what about this? What about this? What about this? I was like, let's just jump on a call because I want to make sure you're 100% set. So I really appreciate that. Now, Katrina, you've been fantastic. I really, really appreciate your time and being able to just share with everybody that we're just normal people. We're just normal people living our lives and realizing that there's a way to change our lives and make money as opposed to working an hour, getting paid one time, getting paid over and over again. So do you have anything else you'd like to share?
No, you were fantastic too. And thank you. Thank you for everything.
Thank you very much, Katrina. Okay, well, you take care of yourself. I'll talk to you soon. It has been such a blast working with Katrina because she is definitely a go-getter, somebody, the type of person that I love working with. Somebody that says, I want to get this done. I'm going to get this done. And she did. Now, going through the entire process, seeing her nerves and, being scared and nervous at the same time, and then walking her through it. Now she's looking back and saying, man, I can do this all on my own. I don't need Dustin anymore. That is exactly what I want from all my students. Now, I want you to get started. Now, I have my full-blown course and I have all of my coaching as well, which if you want to get coaching with me, there's an application process to do that as well. I'll put a link for that in the description, the show notes as well. But I want to get you started. And in order to just get started, I want to give it to you for free. Go to masterpassiveincome.com/free course. Text the word rental to 33777, and I will send you my free real estate investing course so you can start looking at how you can find properties, you can buy properties. If you just got this course and did what I tell you to do in the course, you would make money. Now, Katrina, I helped her to get over those hurdles that I want to help you too. So get that free course, and then we can talk more about coaching in the future. All right, guys, you're fantastic. I look forward to seeing you have such great success with real estate investing. Okay, we'll see you guys next week. See ya.